Hi all, Planetside Agent here. Today I'm going to show you my cook set that's based around my Svea 123 stove. So we'll open this up. I actually kind of forget what all I have in here. I used it back in August to make coffee one morning on a easy camp out. But here we go. It's based around again like the one from the other day when I did the wood gasifier stove cook kit. This 800 milliliter aluminum cook pot and lid, which is, like I said, runs about, you can find about 10 bucks on eBay. Anyway, I got a spoon here, and here's the cup. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I don't have to take the bag off. Yeah, I do. Anyway, I got a little scrubby on the top here. Here's the little cup that comes with the Svea aluminum. Oh, to start with, this whole cook set is pretty darn heavy, especially by today's standards. It's 2 pounds as it sits. It's got some fuel in it, so that's part of the weight, which is 907 grams. So, and not light by today's standard. But in the old days, when this first came out, this was really cutting edge and a leap forward as far as weight and compactness. So anyway, yeah, here's a little cup. This little cup weighs 2.4 ounces, which is 68 grams. And in here I've got some waterproof matches. This is the little pot stand or pot holder that comes with the stove. I've got a little 1 ounce bottle of alcohol. I use heat, and I use this as used to prime the stove. You can use the white gas that comes in the stove to prime it. It's one technique, but the problem with that is it's when you light that off to heat the generator, it's very sooty. So this is a little bit better. I mean, if you're really, well, if you're worried about weight, you wouldn't have to bring this, but then if you're bringing this, the extra weight of this ounce is really not going to make a lot of difference. But you'd better, if you're worried about weight, you should probably look for a different alternative. So anyway, and pull this out, and I have, this is inside of a rag, and in the very bottom here I have a ground pad for the stove to help kind of insulate it from the ground, because it does need heat in the stove tank in order to get it to really start up and run good. And the cold ground will suck some of that heat out, and thus the efficiency of the stove. So what I got here is I got a piece of a political yard sign, that corrugated plastic stuff, which is really pretty nice. It's lightweight, it's free, and then I cover it with aluminum foil just to kind of reflect some of the heat back. So now the stove doesn't have to sit on the cold ground, and it should work a little bit better. But yeah, these Sveas are really great little stoves. One kind of back to you know, I use alcohol to prime it, as you all know. Well, I don't know if you all know, but there's a little dipple down in here for you to put the priming fuel. This really isn't a Svea video, but I'll do it anyway. In case somebody in there has never seen one of these. But anyway, this is the key used, and this, by the way, is a Svea 123R, which has the jet cleaner needle. They say these don't work as well for simmering, but for me it's not a concern because I don't simmer. Everything I eat is based around boiling. I want to get the water up to boil and use it, and I don't want to waste a lot of fuel, because all that fuel used to simmer them noodles is you got to carry it in on your back. So I just as soon use couscous or minute rice or something like that instead of, you know, cooking real rice or pasta, and then you throw the water off. But that's another whole different topic. But anyway, there's the little dimple in here that you fill with the alcohol. Light it up, it heats up the generator, and then on the stove goes. But one technique is to kind of warm the stove with your hand a little bit before you get started. Okay, and that'll put a little pressure in the stove, and then you crack the valve, and when you do that, a little bit of the fuel will actually run out of the jet and down and into this little cup. And then you can light that off, and it works just fine. But like I say, it creates a lot of soot, which will, you know, get all over your bell here. And I just find the alcohol works a lot better. So the old days, I don't know if they still do. They used to sell this fire starter ribbon, which was kind of like a gel in a toothpaste tube, and you just kind of squirted that in there. But I think that was kind of dirty also. One thing I do notice when I've watched some of the Brits or Europeans that have alcohol stoves, they have a dye in their methylated alcohol, and I've gotten a couple of stoves on eBay, used ones, and cleaned them up, and I notice there's always a kind of a reddish tinge on everything because that dye kind of soaks into it, which I don't know what those guys think about it, but I would find it annoying. I'm sure they do too, but you know, it's what they do. So anyway, that's a cook set. I mean, there's not a lot to it. I mean, you got the pot, spoon, this little cup. You know, you can't use it. I just carry it because it came with the stove. Some places, by the way, technique I've seen used also, instead of let me get this. See, what you have to do is put the key back through here. Get in there. There we go. Put the windscreen back on. I've seen some techniques, instead of this, they actually put the cup down and set the stove on top of the cup to keep it up off the ground. Man, it's a little sketchy on the stability. I'm a big fan of stability. I've seen too many people dump stuff over because it's unstable. I've seen some people that have started these stoves and stuff on a slant, which I'm going, well, what's with that? They just have a crooked eye and can't see that it's not level, or what? You know, at least try to level the ground I'm on and fire it up. But anyway, that's my cook set for the Svea, and hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.